and welcome, family, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. Special shout out to everyone that has supported the channel and enabled us to continue to bring you all the Wake Up Africa news. Thanks to everyone that has joined our Patreon. If you want to support the channel, definitely consider joining us there. And for everyone who has sent us love donations through PayPal, family, we appreciate, love you so much. You know, this is absolutely huge news. Huge. And I really believe each and every one of us had a role and a part to play. You know, whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or not, our group consciousness is gaining, you know, is extremely powerful, but it's gaining momentum in terms of the reunification of our group consciousness. And ever since this information age, where we can all, you know, we have like a global mind of Africans, because we're all over. I hear from people from Sweden, from Dubai, from, you know, Brazil, all over. We're all over, family, and we're all connecting to what's happening. That's why I really have to start doing news from Latin America. I know you guys have been really hitting me up on that. I'll really try and start to research that as well, stories for other days. But family, I really believe, like, collectively, when we stand up against something, when we're disgusted with something, when we're shunning that old paradigm of thinking about us as a melanated people, when we shun those old school African stories, that eventually things do happen. You know, for a couple of years, we've been talking about how over 90% of our artifacts are stuck in, you know, European museums, earning the millions and millions of dollars a month. Our governments have been pushing for them to be brought back, but it's been a long, arduous process. But guess what? Finally, there's light under, you know, at the end of the tunnel. Germany has physically handed over to Benin's bronze and put more than, I'm even tongue-tied, seriously, and put more than 1,000 other items from its museum's collections into Nigerian ownership, more than a century after they were looted by British soldiers from once powerful kingdom in West Africa. So the Benin bronzes are starting to come back. I'm telling you, family, there's so many dimensions to this. But 1,000 items in a stroke of a signature were put in the hands of, you know, the Nigerian government. I hope that means that now they'll start earning proceeds from wherever those museums are housing them, because they're saying it's going to take a while to bring them back. But still, this is the largest repatriation agreement since colonial times. The German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock and the Cultural Minister Claudia Roth signed a restitution agreement with their Nigerian counterparts Zubairu Dada and Lai Mohammed in Berlin last Friday. And they said, you know, today, this was Baerbock, she said, you know, today we have reason to celebrate because we have reached an agreement on the Benin bronzes. It was wrong to take the bronzes and it was wrong to keep them. This is the beginning to right the wrongs. I hope the rest of Europe is listening. I hope the rest of Europe is listening. And what's happening, family? Why now? I know our collective consciousness has been saying we want our stuff back. We want our stuff back. We want our stuff. It's become like a global chant of our people. But do you think like the ancestors are in play here and these things are now making them uneasy? Do you think they're starting to call for home? Because nothing just happens just like that. Is it the ancestors that are kind of pushing, you know, playing chess behind the scenes? Let me know what you think. And, you know, the political agreement with immediate effect turns into Nigerian property, 1,100 artifacts held by the Linden Museum in Stuttgart, Berlin's Humboldt Forum, and Colognese, Rautenstrach, whatever, Joseph Museum, Hamburg's Museum of World Cultures, and the State Ethnographic Collections of Saxony. Wow. And these weren't taken by Germans. These were apparently taken by British soldiers. Not sure how they ended up in Germany. The museum said the Nigerian government will then negotiate the physical return of the individual objects, some of which could remain on display in Germany under custodial agreements. But they're relinquishing ownership. And you know, just to show you how big this is, it's like Philippe from Belgium, when he visited the Democratic Republic of Congo, he came with a mask, an ancient mask from the Congo. He didn't even give it back. He loaned it indefinitely. That's embarrassing. They should have given that mask back. But that's just to show you what a significant move this is. And Nigeria setting the trend, man, or again. That's amazing, you know? And, you know, they talk about how the return is a milestone in the process of reappraising colonial injustice in the field of museum collections. By completely transferring property of all our Benin artifacts to Nigeria, we are taking a significant step. Wow. Wow. Of course, they added that, you know, a representative collection of objects would remain in the German capital on a long-term loan. I wonder what they mean by representative. You guys, we need to make sure that these things that we're getting are the real ones. They need to be, like, dated and all those, you know, all these, like, forensically tested and everything. Wow. But the only government that has done this before is the divided kingdom, when they gave back 2 Benin bronzes. I keep telling you, family, we're a new breed of African. It's not business as usual on the motherland. So much is happening. So much is shifting. Everything will be returned. It must be returned. Feel the excitement of that. Feel the newness of the motherland and the newness of the narrative. Because for me, there's certain stories now that are even tiring. Because it's just like, that's not us anymore. Have you ever had like friends who always remembered what you did when you were 16 and what you did when you were, you know, in your early 20s or whatever? And that's just not you. It hasn't been you for so long. But that's how they always want to remind you. I feel like that's what happens with Africa. That's the trap we're in right now, because we're not our mothers. We're not even our grandmothers or our grandfathers. We're a new breed of African. Forced to grow into this engineered poverty, engineered lack, engineered dark continent vibes, and then being awakened at such a time as this, from the inside out, like a beautiful flower, like a beautiful lotus. I mean, it's just, it's phenomenal, family. And the reason all of this is happening is because there's so many who are here who have been here before. We're going to do it. We're going to make it. We're going to change this narrative over the motherland. You just watch this space, family. Until next time. Tuko pamoja.